Alright guys, I'm back here with another strategy. This strategy involves boss rushing and doing maven invitations. The way we make our money on this strategy is selling maven fragments and the sets in bulk. We are also doing boss rushing on the map Mesa with Eldritch. Any Eldritch, it could be the red one or the blue one, the one that's more lucrative. And we are running invitations. I want to talk about the Atlas tree. Firstly, the favorite maps are Mesa and Dunes. Probably 80% of it is Mesa and the rest Dunes. The Atlas tree we're doing is Wandering Path. We are trying to get as many map duplication nodes. Most importantly, chance for one monster to drop an additional connected map. And getting these notes up here. These are the most important ones for getting or trying to self-sustain our invitations with destructive play. This is obviously a strategy for people with really good boss clearing builds. It could be a Hex Blast like the one I'm running. It could be a really high invested Tornado Shot, or just any build that can do map bosses, as well as Shaper bosses, etc. I want to talk about the investment. There is no compasses or scabs that we are doing with this. We are just doing invitations and maps. Most of the maps I've gotten, I've self-sustained, but the maps, first of all, Conqueror maps, they are very expensive. These are 30 chaos per Conqueror map of any type. Shaper and Elder maps are 10 to 15 chaos, depending on if the price varies. The ones I'm doing so far are Shaper maps. These are very cheap, 10 chaos each. As well as invitations for the Shaper are 125 chaos for one invitation. I have bought 5 invitations for 625 chaos and 20 Shaper maps for 200 chaos, making me have 825 chaos investment. It took me 30 minutes to run 5 invitations plus the 20 maps, meaning that the profit I got was 1,200 chaos. That is 5 divines in half an hour. This could eventually mean that for an hour you could make as much as 8 to 10 divines per hour. This is a very profitable strategy, as these are very expensive and you will get a ton of these. That's done with the investment. I want to talk about the loot. From the 5 invitations I ran and maps, I always got 2 Maven Writs and 5. This is like half. This is what invitation is 5. I got pretty much 6 sets and a half, 2 maps, 2 Conqueror maps, and 6 Shaper maps, as well as 2 Awakened gems. These are less reliable, so I won't factor them in. I pretty much made back my invitations and more maps here. So the way we sell our stuff is we want to use the TFT Discord. We don't want to sell our invitations. We just want to sell the fragments and basically the Maven Writs and the fragments. I'm going to have an infographic on the screen showing which stuff sells, but basically with the Shaper sets, I highly recommend you do not sell. I highly recommend that you run the Shaper boss fight, because 4 sets of Shaper is a divine. If you run those 4 sets, you get 2.6 divines back from these 2. If selling them for 1 divine for 4, you lose 1.6 divines. So I highly recommend run these to get these red maps. Elder is a bit different. Elder is very expensive. It is about, obviously they will have an infographic. I'll have images of how much they sell. For a Cirrus set is 0.4 divines, Elder is 0.6, and Uber Elder is 2 divines. 2 divines for 1 set. So selling Shaper, it shouldn't happen. This also isn't factoring in the Screaming Invitation of boss rushing. So when you'll get a lot of Mesa maps, like I've shown here. These are a lot of the maps I've accumulated, and obviously you'll get the currency or the 1 divine from running these 2. which is very good. So that's an extra divine when you're boss rushing. It took me about 10 minutes to run 28 maps, so that's about... It took me 10 minutes to run 28 maps, so that's 6 divines per hour from boss rushing just to farm up any maps. It's an additional way of self-sustaining our maps, to see if the boss drops any more invitations or if it drops anything else. As for a bonus, I ran 2 strategies, one without Wandering Path and one with Wandering Path. I did 28 maps of each. And for the first thing, with the Wandering Path, I saw 6 boss maps drop, 2 Elders, 2 Conquerors, and 1 Shaper. I saw about the same amount of maps drop with Wandering Path and 2 invitations. They were basic Maven invitations, so that was reward. That was what we got. And without Wandering Path, I saw less boss maps drop, about 3 less boss maps drop. But I also saw 2 additional boss invitations drop. This was the hidden and the feared, I think it was. But I got less basic invitations. So what does this mean? Does this mean we run without it or with it? But I'd say I also tested with Wandering Path, farming the bosses, and I saw a lot more boss invitations drop. And without Wandering Path, I saw less boss invitations drop from running the actual boss maps. So I think it's highly recommended that we run a Wandering Path. And that seems to be it. It's a bit of a shorter video today. I just wanted to get this video out there, as it's not really a complicated strategy. It's more of a fun strategy. But the last thing I wanted to say was that Conqueror maps, their boss also counts. Like from the actual map, that boss counts as an additional view from the Maven. So technically we could, with every 10 Conqueror maps we run, we get an additional 2 fragments from running a Maven, basic Maven invitation. Shaper is the easiest. It's better to run that. Uber with Elder. Elder is the most profitable set to sell on TFT. And yeah, I think that was all the invitations. I think augmented distant memory maps, I think they're the most cheapest to run, as the invitations are very cheap, 15 chaos, the maps about 25 chaos each, and you're getting a profit of about 20, 30, 40 chaos. But I'd say Shaper is the easiest if you want to run Shaper. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate any criticism in the comments, any subscriptions and any likes, and yeah, have fun with the strategy. It's a very well-known strategy. I just wanted to make a video about it just to show you guys how to do it. Thank you.